Creating a UX portfolio usually takes a lot of time and effort. Let's see if we can do it quicker using Notion, more specifically using a template that I've created for you. We will go through it in detail and then discuss two big topics, portfolio landing page and a perfect case study structure. Let's start. Today, we'll be using the UX portfolio template I've created in Notion. It is a universal structure that you can fill with your content and adjust to your individual needs. You can copy it and follow along. The link will be in the description. Let's start with the portfolio landing page. This is the first thing that your clients and potential employers will see. It's important to make a good first impression, be memorable, and provide a clear value proposition. Here are the elements and sections that you need to include. Hero section. There are two ways of approaching the hero section depending on your needs and goals. If you're looking for in-house positions, it's best to simply list your name, who you are, UX designer, UI designer, etc., and mention the companies you worked for. For example, senior SaaS product designer, mentor, speaker, and author, currently at company A, previously company B and C. If you're more focused on the freelance work, you can change it up slightly and start with a strong value proposition. For example, I help SaaS companies reduce the time to value and increase their monthly active users. Next, we have the introduction. In this section, introduce yourself and your design background, mention your design philosophy, and whether or not you're open to new opportunities or clients. Here is an example copy. Welcome. I'm excited to have you here and share my design work with you, explore my case studies, and learn more about my approach to user-centric design. If you're interested in collaborating or have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always looking for new opportunities to work on exciting projects with passionate people. Thank you for visiting, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. In addition, I would probably avoid using the cliché phrases like the following ones. UX designer with a passion for creating delightful experiences. I believe that design should be user-centered and aim to solve the user's problems. Or, my goal is to create intuitive and engaging experiences that leave a lasting impression. Keep it simple in general unless you really have something unique to share, like a particular achievement, for example, designed an app with 2 million downloads in Apple Store, or your specialization, like designing for developer tools. Next, we have the portfolio section or your featured work section. It should include projects that people can click on and explore. You should showcase only your best work, so showing between 4 to 5 projects is the most optimal. If you go below 4, you're not showing enough work, and if you go above 5, you're risking showing your second to best work. In my free 5-day portfolio masterclass, there is a lesson about choosing the right projects and coming up with ideas for portfolio projects if you don't have enough work to show. I'll link it in the description. The list of projects should be simple. It should include meaningful titles and descriptions for the projects that list the topic, the industry, the platform, so web, mobile, etc., the goal, and the year of the project. It is also a good practice to include a thumbnail with visuals from the project. Then we have testimonials. In this section, show testimonials from your colleagues and clients. It is an excellent way to include social proof and show that your work is appreciated and valued. If you already have some recommendations on LinkedIn, you can add them here. If not, reach out to your mentors, colleagues, and clients and ask them to write a short statement. Remember to list their full name, job title, and the company. Also, you can add the picture to increase credibility. My skills. In this section, list the skills that you use at work. It is important to be honest and include only the skills that you're really proficient at. Listing too many skills may leave a wrong impression, so focus only on the relevant ones. Remember to add a short description to give more context. Then we have my process. In this section, you should explain your design process and the steps you take for every single project you work on. It should be detailed enough so that the employer can get to know you, but it shouldn't be too long to not be overwhelming. In the design template, I've listed the phases of the double diamond model. And lastly, we have the contact and the call to action. This section should include your contact information like email address, your social media links, and any other information that is useful. Remember to make sure that the social media links work properly and that they are correct. Additionally, if you're open to freelance work, you can add a call to action that links to a form or an online scheduler. It will make it easier for potential clients to reach out to you. Now that we have our landing page ready, let's talk about the case study. A perfect case study should provide an in-depth analysis of your project, but still be condensed enough so it's not overwhelming or boring. We will divide our case study into 3 main sections: high-level context, problem space, and solution space. If you would like to learn more about the concept of a problem space and solution space, I recommend reading the Lean Product Playbook. I'll link it in the description. We need to start by providing the high-level context for the readers. First, we have the introduction, where we show the basic information about the project, things like project title, overview, company or client name, date, platform you designed for, so like web and iOS, etc., your role in the project, and the team you worked with. Then we have the About the Product section. First, explain the product briefly, who it is created for, and what are its main goals. Then describe the feature or the product area that you're focusing on in this case study. Give a quick overview of how this feature works, who is it created for, what are the main challenges it's facing, and what is the development stage. You can also add a screenshot to visualize the descriptions. Before we move on to Problem Space, I would like to tell you about the free 5-day portfolio masterclass. It's a course that I've created that will help you level up your portfolio. It includes topics like choosing the right projects, improving your case studies, or even coming up with ideas for example projects for your portfolio. I'll link it in the description and I'll see you there. Problem Space is where we explore the current state of the product, what the challenges are, and gather all the information necessary to start designing the solutions in the next phase. The first step is to list all the problems you'll be addressing in this project. Usually it's between 1 to 3 main challenges. For each of them, write a problem statement and attach a screenshot to visualize it. If a solution doesn't exist in the system yet, you can explain what people do instead. They may use the competitor's app or do the process manually. In this section, it's also important to show the evidence you've gathered that those are actually problems that need to be solved. Mention user feedback, usability testing results, and metrics. The next section is why solve these problems. Explain why it is important to solve those issues and why it should be done now. You can use the customer value matrix to compare the customer satisfaction with the current solution and the importance of the need. In general, you're looking for items that are high on the importance axis and low on the satisfaction axis. Your goal is to move them to the right, so you're working on important items to provide a significant improvement. Next, we need to talk about goals. List a high-level company objective that your project is contributing to, for example, increasing monthly active users. Then list all the project goals that you and your team agreed on. You can briefly explain how they contribute to a high-level objective. Moving on to our users, list the type of users whose needs this project addresses. Keep the section short. There is no need to list full personas unless they were also the focus on this project. Focus on behavioral characteristics and key differentiators that are important in this context. And the last section in the problem space is jobs to be done. It's based on the jobs to be done framework, where people don't buy products, they hire them to do jobs. I recommend reading more about jobs to be done because it's a very useful and popular framework that will shape your view on what it takes to create a successful product. In this section, explain what jobs this functionality that you're designing needs to do for the users. For example, surface urgent tasks and upcoming meetings. Now we're moving on to solution space. Based on the information from the problem space, we'll explore the potential solutions, test them, and measure their impact. The first section is exploratory research. Show the summary of all the findings from user interviews, competitors' analysis, reports, etc. The content of this section heavily depends on product's nature and the project objectives. Next, we're moving on to solutions. For every problem that you've listed in the problems to solve section, show the solution that you came up with. Create the problem-solution pairs. Keep the descriptions high level and short. Maybe attach a quick sketch or a concept. Those are the results of your exploration and your first ideas, not the full mock-ups yet. The next section is sketches and low-fidelity design. It's time to start showing your design work progress. Share key concepts, sketches, and low-fidelity mock-ups. Remember to show only the most important ones to not overwhelm the viewers. And also remember to describe your sketches and add annotations. After the low-fidelity exploration, now it's time to show your high-fidelity mockups for key flows. You can even add a prototype or a video walkthrough if you want to. Remember to annotate them properly, add descriptions, titles, and notes. A subsection of high-fidelity design is design system. If you created a design system for this project or contributed important components to an existing one, share it in this section. We're almost done with the solution space. The next step is to test your designs. In this section, give an overview of the usability testing plan, goals, and results. Then, show the improvements you made to the mockups. I recommend using the following format. First, provide an overview, the number of users, the methodology, etc. Next, list questions and considerations. What questions you're trying to answer with this research and what areas of the project you're the most concerned about. Lastly, summarize the results and show the improvements you've made. I like to use the before and after comparisons because they get the message across the best. Remember to annotate them so they don't become the find 5 differences game. When it comes to showing the usability testing in your portfolio, it's important to keep it brief. There is no need to show the full scenario, all the findings, the rainbow sheets, or affinity mapping. If you really want to, you can link those items in your case study, but avoid showing them directly. The last section of the solution space is measuring the success. Many designers forget to add it to their portfolios. You need to summarize the project and show the results that you and your team achieved. Explain if the project was successful and why. List the metrics and the KPIs impacted by the project. You can compare them before and after making the changes. Show other results if they are available. Not everything can be expressed with the metrics. If the project you worked on changed the company direction, validated an idea, or impacted the processes that you were using, you can share it as well. Lastly, show the impact on the company goals. You need to refer to the company objectives that you've listed in the goals section. Make sure that you show exactly how your work impacted the progress. In summary, Notion can be a great way to show your UX design work and save you some time that you would otherwise need to spend on building your custom website. If you're going to use my template, remember to adjust the visuals so your portfolio stands out. You can also change the order of things and adjust the structure. The template is just a starting point. I hope that this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to get notified about the future videos. You can also explore the portfolio playlist that I will link here, or join my free 5-day portfolio masterclass that I will link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.